Hi, I'm Callie and welcome to Kapowski Reads, and this is my April TBR game. If you are new here, hi, I'm Callie. I am somebody who needs a list of books to read. I cannot mood read and I hate making decisions, so I have made a TBR game which is in beta mode while I iron out any little issues that I have, and that is how I choose my TBR. If you want to know more about the rules of the game, I will pop a link in the description which will take you to the first time I ever played this game. It is relatively straightforward. I just roll a pair of dice, move my little cat along the board and choose a book dependent on the prompt that I land on. There are some extra special little squares here and there, but we'll talk about them if and when they are selected. I do also have an extra sort of selection. If I have finished my TBR for the month before, I get to read the highest rated book on my TBR that I own, according to Goodreads. If I haven't finished my TBR, I read the lowest rated book. So it is win-win, because if a book is on my TBR as a book that I own, I want to read it. There's a reason I own it. So it's a win-win, really. There is absolutely no possibility of me finishing my March TBR. None. I have 4 books left that are unfinished, and it is the 29th of March. It's not happening. 2 of those books I'm a decent way through. There's one I'm definitely going to finish, probably tonight, and the other one, it'll be close, but I think I can do it. The 2 others, not a possibility of them getting finished because I haven't started them. But I will be choosing the lowest rated book on my TBR to read, and I'm going to be going with Last Final Girl by Stephen Graham Jones. I don't know a huge deal about this book. It's super short, so I didn't want to look it up too much because I didn't want spoilers. But I know that this is about basically the final girl trope, and it's told in the format of a script, I think. I am a huge fan of horror films, campy horror classic films like Halloween, Scream, Friday the 13th. I love them. However, I will look up spoilers so that I know jump scares are coming, because I am a scaredy cat. I get scared, but I love them. So I really love the sort of final girl trope, and I thought I would love this because that's pretty much what this book is about. It's kind of, I think it is a like slasher film in a book. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it is. And I'm actually super happy that this is the first book on my April TBR because it's one of my most recent purchases and I really want to read it. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. White. Book I haven't seen on BookTuber. Roll 1 was a white prompt, which was a book that I have not seen on BookTube. And I'm going with The Tick and the Talk of the Crocodile Clock by Kenny Boyle. Now, this book I have never ever seen on BookTube, but in my tiny little circle that I live in on Instagram, on Bookstagram, this book is super popular. The vast majority of the people that I interact with have read this book. So I'm really in the minority over there, but I've never seen it on BookTube. So let's change that and have it on BookTube. This is Scottish fiction. It is about a woman called Wendy who works in a call centre in Glasgow. Been there, done that. It was not fun. And she ends up leaving her job under a bit of a grey cloud, and she forms a friendship with another disgruntled ex-colleague called Kat. And Kat kind of encourages her to live a little bit on the wild side, live a little dangerously, and Wendy sort of finds herself on the wrong side of the law. And everybody I know who has read this has just raved about it, and it comes to me so highly recommended, and I'm really, really excited to read it. I've been told that the characters are just so endearing, and I am wondering if, because of the title and the fairy on the front, if maybe there's going to be some sort of Captain Hook, Peter Pan references? I don't know, but I'm gonna find out. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yellow. Read Christie. Roll 2 was an orange prompt, and that is Read Christie, which I'm delighted about. This month's Read Christie prompt is a book with poison, and I'm going with a Sparkling Cyanide. This will be a reread for me. I have read this a few times before and I really enjoy it. It surrounds a dinner party full of very well-to-do fancy folk, and somebody is poisoned at that dinner party, as is classic in an Agatha Christie. And a year later, all of the people from that original dinner party find themselves reunited at another dinner party, which this time has an empty space for the deceased. And secrets are revealed, and it is just exciting. I'm very, very much looking forward to rereading this. It has been a while, so I'm looking forward to it. 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. White. Goodreads' lowest number of ratings. Roll 3 was a white prompt, which was the book on my Goodreads TBR that has the fewest ratings. That's a mouthful of description, but here we are. So the book on my TBR with the fewest Goodreads ratings is an odd choice. I don't know how I feel. It is A River Runs Through Me by Andrew Douglas Home. And at the time of checking, this book only had 4 ratings. So I'm looking forward to it. This is a non-fiction book about fishing, and if you know me, you will be confused as to why on earth I own this book. But the reason that I own this book is because it is about salmon fishing in the River Tweed. And the River Tweed goes through my hometown. I spent a lot of time at that river. Lots of, social events were near the river. We had our end of year celebration at the river. We used to jump into the river. So I feel like as much as one can love a river, I love the river that this book is about. So I'm really hoping it's gonna sort of give me some nostalgia and just be an interesting read about a location I'm really familiar with, but a context I'm not, because I am not a fisher, unless it's in Stardew Valley. And even then, can I say what I'm doing is fishing, because I'm awful at it. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Got a lap. And pink. Favorite author. Roll 4 was a pink prompt, and it is a favorite author. So for me, a favorite author would be somebody that I feel I'm guaranteed a good time with. Somebody I've had at least 3, 4 or 5-star rated books. So I am going with Now She Is Witch by Kirsty Logan. I have read 3, possibly 4 books by Kirsty Logan. I have loved each and every one of them. I really enjoy this author's writing, and her use of imagery is just fantastic. This book surrounds a woman whose mother has been sentenced to death for witchcraft, and she receives a visit from a stranger who wants her help in seeking revenge against the man who has wronged them both. So I'm not sure if that man is the reason why her mother has been condemned, but I do love a revenge tale. Again, I don't know too much about this book because the description on Goodreads is pretty small. So to get a bit more of a idea about what the book is about, I would have to venture into the reviews, and that's where the spoilers live. So I'm just going into it knowing it's going to be revenge. There's going to be some strong female characters, I hope. Usually that's what I get from this author, which is why I love her. And I think the imagery is going to be fantastic. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. Although I think it might be, I'm probably going to get annoyed. I get really annoyed when I read books about witchcraft where they're persecuted for being witches. I get really annoyed at, not at the witches, at the people who are persecuting them. So I think I can see me getting annoyed in the future at some characters that think they know best. So let's find out if that's true. Is a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Free pick. Rule 5, one of my sort of special prompts, is a free pick. I'm going to choose Love on the Menu by Mimi Deb, which is also my pick for Kayla's buzzword. The theme for April is emotions. I think it's emotions. Yeah, let's go with that. This is a rom-com. I think it's meant to be a sort of sweet, not spicy rom-com, although spice is fine. And it surrounds a woman who accidentally finds that her sort of list of goals is attached to somebody else's backpack or delivery bag or something, and they start this sort of communication via letters, and it just sounds so sweet and lovely. I have heard that it is similar to Jasmine Guillory's writing, which I really enjoy. It makes me hungry almost all of the time because she writes really, really good food descriptions. I hope this is going to be just as enjoyable. And the romance seems to surround a woman who delivers food and a man who works in the restaurant. I don't know if he's a chef or something, but I'm really excited to find out how their sort of worlds eventually meet, and I want the romance. I love the romance. And then my last roll, maybe? Yes, is 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Green. Animal on the cover. Rule 6 was a green prompt, which is an animal on the cover. And I am going with Song of Silver, Flame Like Night by Amelie Wen Zhao. This is a fantasy, an epic fantasy, which is the start of a duology, but I'm feeling, you know, I just finished a trilogy that I just started, but oh well, I'm starting a new series, so what? And this is inspired by Chinese mythology. I love when books are inspired by mythology. That is the easiest way to hook me in. And this is about a woman who seems to be the key to discovering secrets of her nation's past. And there seem to be some demons involved. There's going to be romance, there's going to be secrets and intrigue, and I am in. I'm in. I mean, they had me at epic fantasy. I'm in. I usually throw in an extra roll if I get some doubles, but I didn't get any doubles. Unless I have missed them. I don't think I did. But I did do a lap. So I crossed the start point of my board, which means that I choose a book that I have seen on BookTube recently. So in the last sort of 2 weeks or so. And I am going with a book I saw on Uncarley. I will link the video I saw, my source, in the description. And that book was Paris, the Memoir by Paris Hilton. I again pre-ordered this book because I just thought it sounded really interesting. I don't really follow a lot of celebrities, but Paris Hilton was huge when I was, you know, in my teens. So she's a celebrity that I've sort of been aware of for a huge amount of time, and I've always had that sort of warmth towards her. I don't know her, but she seems nice, or maybe she's not. I don't know, but I'm gonna find out. And she definitely has had a very interesting life. So I'm looking forward to reading her book. I did meet her once at a Sum 41 concert in like 2002, 2003. And she seemed nice in the 3 seconds that I met her. So I'll read her book. But I feel like this feels like a really big memoir. There's a lot of memoirs coming out this year that seem to just be huge, and I want to read this one. I think I'm going to enjoy it. I think it's going to be very eye-opening, and I think it's going to be an enjoyable read. So that is my April TBR. It's very heavy on the electronic books. I've only got these as my physical books, so I'm very excited to make my way through my picks. So half of my books are ebooks or audiobooks, and I've only got 4 physical books, so that's an 8-book TBR, which feels feels achievable. Is that too bold? That could be too bold, but maybe not. I would love to know what your reading plans are for April, if you've read any of the books that I've chosen to read. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!